The Nigeria political landscape, or rather what I call the Nigeria political hemisphere, is becoming very interesting. Many of you may have seen the trending news, about the resignation of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar from PDP, in preparedness for 2027. It is already on record that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is part and parcel of that very ADC coalition, which the overall motive is to lay a new foundation for a new Nigeria. And in doing that, by first of all removing President Bola Tinubu from office, while instituting or rather constituting new leadership that will move the country forward. That very resignation has come with a lot of mixed feelings, even including Festus Keyamo. Many of these persons have taken a turn, dragging Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, telling him that he claimed to be an elder statesman. Why is he moving from one political party to another? Well, that is one of the political prophecies I've given in the past, that the event of 2013, 2014, and 2015 will repeat itself in Nigeria come 2027. Do not forget that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar resigned from PDP then, joined forces with Alhaji Bola Tinubu then under the platform of Action Congress, and also in unity with late President Muhammadu Buhari, and some other, key players from that very coalition. Eventually, it was that very coming together that removed Goodluck Ebele Jonathan from office. Now, this is 2025. There is a lot of groundwork that this coalition need to do, a lot of homework. If Alhaji Atiku Abubakar continues to be driven by his interest to be the president of Nigeria in his lifetime, if that desire and interest continues to drive him, this coalition may fail. Yes, because if it drives him, then he's going to do everything humanly possible to be the presidential flag bearer through the primaries. Of course, it will no longer be alien to any of you how primaries are conducted in Nigeria, that it is usually a fight of whoever can bring more dollars and pounds. And somebody like Peter Obi has not been in the business of bribing people or giving people money. So that is where the bottleneck lies now with ADC coalition. More so, Atiku's resignation, like I maintained earlier, as one of my political prophetic statements. So I think Atiku has done what needs to be done or what needed to be done. By doing that, he is simply giving Nyesom Wike a platform to either become politically useless, politically irrelevant, or still pull some weight, which I know is not going to take him anywhere. Do not forget that I made it very clear earlier that Nyesom Wike has an intention to be the president of this country. That was the beginning of his problem with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Don't forget that he contested that election 2023 at the primaries, but he was played out. You know what I mean? And Atiku emerged. And then both of them, their relationship got severed for a lot of reasons. Now, the question would be, what will become of Wike after Atiku has resigned from PDP? Because certainly Atiku is going to pull the remaining PDP members, the remaining surviving PDP members. Not everybody certainly, but a larger chunk of them will go with Atiku to ADC. Now, what will be left behind? What can Nyesom Wike make out of it? Almost insignificant. That is why I said that Atiku will give Nyesom Wike a platform to either become politically relevant or become politically irrelevant or politically useless, because Nyesom Wike may not achieve anything significant with a lesser minority that will be left in PDP. And that is also very good, for him, so that the PDP he claims he loves, Atiku has decamped. Let him now prove his love to Nigerians and to PDP by trying to unite the PDP once again, bring back all the governors who have defected from PDP to APC. So Nyesom Wike will likely be sitting at a fence, like I prophesied earlier, that two things are going to happen. It is either he gets himself absorbed into APC and become a card-carrying member of APC, or he breaks out entirely, joining forces with the minority of the remaining PDP members and borrowing other political parties like we have seen now. He is currently having some backdoor meetings with Julius Abure, one of the sectional leaders of Labour Party. The same party many of you were telling Peter Obi to stay and run for presidency without knowing or believing what we have been preaching here. That every crisis you see in PDP in Labour Party is orchestrated, is sponsored by the opposition. So Nyesom Wike may have started doing his consultation, trying to see which political party that may unite with him, and also possibly with the remaining members of PDP, forming an alliance, and then him declaring to run for presidency come 2027. So it depends on what has been his intention in the past time and even in the recent time while working under President Bola Tinubu. It is not going to be easy. I don't see anything that Tinubu will promise him that will eventually prevail or suffix, because even if Tinubu get re-elected, for example, by 2031, the power is meant to return back to the north, and Tinubu can never have such agreement with Nyesom Wike. Rather, Tinubu will trade his relationship with Wike, have a new agreement with the north for the north to support him come 2027, such that he will return power to them by 2031. So Nyesom Wike is actually, currently in a political quagmire, which can either make him better or make him useless. But at the same time, let us now see how the whole thing plays out in the coming days. But my final advice go to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. You are already getting very old. You know what I mean? You are already getting very old. By 2027, Atiku will have become 80 years plus. You know what I mean? Atiku will have become 80 years plus. And that has been part and parcel of the fundamental problems of this country. When you elect a sick president into office, he will spend a greater percentage of Nigerian resources to regain his health first. And after regaining his health, he will take a greater chunk of the government resources again to replenish what he spent during the campaign before ever beginning to see what he can do to better the country. And that is one of the reasons why at the time Buhari didn't know what was happening in Nigeria. He relied only on what his aides, ADC, tells him. He didn't know. He didn't know. So we cannot live in a country where a president doesn't watch television, doesn't look at the media, doesn't look at the body language, doesn't look at the countenance of Nigerians at large to understand what is happening. I cannot be a party to such governance any longer in this country. I will always vote my conscience. After all, I never voted Buhari in 2015. I voted for Goodluck Jonathan. Unfortunately, he lost. So I will always satisfy my conscience and my integrity. So if you ask me, Atiku should just resign, become an elder statesman, give his unalloyed support to Peter Obi, the most credible of the moment. Time is running so fast. Someday Peter Obi will get very old. And when he gets that old, I will never be a party to supporting him to be the president of this country. Because Nigeria is a very complex society that needs a president in good health of state of mind and body in order to function effectively. Well, at this point, I'll allow you guys to be the judge. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section and share this video. Man, another person see him. God bless you.